Hello, hello, hello. Today we're going to talk about a title and an introduction of a lab report. Well, um, you probably have seen the sample report shared by your teacher. It also can be found at the end of the book. Please take a look at the introduction of the sample report. Read that introduction and find these parts. See these different orange shapes. Yeah. So find these parts, you can highlight, underline, and put them in the correct order as they go in the sample report. You can pause the video and then we will discuss the correct answers. And then think as well, what kind of information did the writer take from the sources and which information he or she has written without the use of the sources. All right. Hopefully you have arranged these parts of the introduction in the correct order. Let's see what an introduction looks like. Ta-da! So a typical introduction starts with a statement, a general statement, saying what the report is about. Yeah. So you can write something like, this research is concerned with blah blah blah, or this report looks at blah blah blah, or focuses on okay. Then you talk about the background information about the topic, what is known about the topic, something to inform your reader about. Yeah. And then you move on to talking about the problems this topic is connected to. And then why discussing this topic is important. It's kind of the importance of the topic, who can use this information and stuff like that. But yeah, basically it's the problems or the consequences of this issue, if it's an issue. If the topic is about some issue, what can be the consequences? All right. And you end your introduction with a hypothesis or several hypotheses and aims. All right. And which information do you think the author of the sample report took from the sources? Well, actually, the background information and the information about the problems and the importance of the topic, maybe the consequences of the issue, can be taken from the sources, because you are not an expert unless you are some professor of whatever, beach debris, marine litter. Then probably you can write something, right? And even though you would refer the reader to your previous works, yeah. However, it's most likely not your area of knowledge. So the background information and the problems and importance of the topic is taken from the sources. What tense is used in the introduction? Is it past, present, or future? Actually, present. It's present, if you have noticed. Why? Because when you talk about the background information and the problems and importance of the topic, it's mostly it's some general facts, right? Some general facts, unless you talk about some examples from the past, then you use the past, yeah, past tense. All right, the aims. The aims, when you write about the aims, you can use the following phrases. Like you can use any of them, right? However, you need to be careful what the aim of the report is. Yeah, you can just You can't choose anything if it's if you write calculate and there's nothing about calculation in the report. It doesn't make sense, right? So make sure it matches, like the words that you use, they match the aims. All right, let's talk about the title a little bit. Take a look at the sample report again, okay? And look at the title. Look at the title and look at the introduction again. Which information in the introduction does the title match? You can take a moment, you can pause the video and find the part of the introduction that matches the title of the sample report. Alrighty, hopefully you have paused the video. Let's move on to that. Actually, it matches the aims. So when you write the title of the report, it should match the aims. So the title starts with verb plus ing. So you take the verb that you use to describe your aims. For example, your aims are to compare the population of Dubai and Muscat, right? So the title will be comparing what? The population of Muscat and Dubai. If you know when, where, or whatever, some extra information, you write it at the end. So these are some examples. These are some examples of titles. Here you can see that they look pretty long. So they should be detailed, right? They should be detailed, but they start with a verb plus ing. Yeah, you can't write just obesity rates in Oman and the UAE. Well, it should be like the verb plus ing. What action, like what are you doing there in that report? Are you comparing, summarizing, calculating, investigating, like what? Okay, so again, that's the formula that you use to write a title. Okay, all right, so in the previous video, we talked about the hypothesis and what a hypothesis is, and your task was to write a hypothesis or several hypotheses for your report. If you haven't done it, please do that. And then now you need to come up with the aims of your report and come up with the title. Okay, so the aims and the title, as you have heard just now, they are very similar.